You're 23 years old, with a criminal justice degree, a spotless record, and a dream of making your immigrant parents proud. Your dad picked strawberries for 40 years, so you could be the first in your family to wear a suit to work. Your mom cleaned houses in neighborhoods she could never afford to live in. You just got accepted into the DEA's training academy at Quantico. You're about to become a federal agent. You're about to be a hero. Except there's one problem. Your cousin Miguel didn't just help pay for college, he owns you. 3 years ago, when you couldn't afford textbooks, Miguel handed you $5,000 cash, no questions asked. When your mom needed surgery and insurance denied the claim, Miguel covered $15,000 overnight. You never asked where the money came from because you already knew. Miguel works for the Sinaloa Cartel. Not some low-level dealer. He's a plaza boss, controlling drug routes through 3 states. You told yourself you'd pay him back someday. You told yourself it was just family helping family. But the week you got your DEA acceptance letter, Miguel showed up at your apartment with 2 other men you'd never seen before. They weren't there to congratulate you. Miguel sits on your couch like he owns it and says 8 words that detonate your entire future. It's time to repay what you owe, Primo. He doesn't want money. He wants information. You're going into the DEA, which means you're going to have access to case files, undercover operations, witness locations, and raid schedules. The cartel has spent $20,000 on your education. Now they're collecting their investment with interest. You either work for them, or your parents find out their son took blood money. Worse, the cartel makes sure the DEA finds out too. Your career is over before it starts, and maybe your life ends with it. You want to say no. You want to run. But Miguel shows you photos on his phone. Your mom leaving her church. Your dad at the grocery store. Your little sister walking to high school. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't have to. The message is clear. You don't work alone anymore. You work for the family. You graduate from Quantico ranked 7th in your class. Your parents cry at the ceremony. Your mom holds your badge like it's made of gold. Your dad tells everyone his son is a DEA agent now. A real American success story. You smile for the photos while Miguel watches from the parking lot, smoking a cigarette. Your first assignment is the El Paso field office. Ground zero for cartel operations. You're supposed to be fighting the drug war. Instead, you're sabotaging it from the inside. It starts small. Miguel asks for the schedule of highway checkpoints. You send him a text. 3 trucks carrying 200 kilos of fentanyl drive right past the checkpoints on the nights you said would be clear. Then it escalates. The DEA is planning a raid on a stash house. You're not on the team, but you see the address in a briefing file. You take a photo with your phone in the bathroom. 20 minutes later, that stash house is empty. The agents bust down the door and find nothing but furniture. Your supervisor thinks they got bad intel. You get a text from Miguel. Good work, Primo. Your mom's mortgage is paid off. You're a double agent, and you're terrifyingly good at it. You tell yourself you're protecting your family. You tell yourself the DEA is losing the drug war anyway. So what difference does it make? You tell yourself lies until they start sounding like the truth. 6 months in, you're assigned to a task force targeting Miguel's boss, a man they call El Tigre. He's responsible for 70% of the fentanyl flowing into Texas. The DEA has been hunting him for 8 years. They've never even gotten a photograph. But now they've got a confidential informant who's willing to testify. Someone inside the cartel who's ready to flip. You're in the briefing room when your supervisor puts the informant's photo on the screen. Your blood turns to ice. It's your uncle. Your mom's brother. He got arrested on a weapons charge and cut a deal. He's giving up everything. Routes, safe houses, distribution networks, names, including Miguel's. Your supervisor says the informant is being held at a secure location until the trial. Only 4 people in the DEA know where he is. You're one of them. The address is in a file on your desk. You're supposed to be part of the team protecting him. Miguel calls you that night. He already knows about the informant. The cartel has sources everywhere. He says your uncle is a traitor who's going to get a lot of people killed, including family. He needs the address. He needs it by tomorrow. If you don't give it up, the cartel will assume you flipped too, and they'll handle you the same way they handle all snitches. You're holding your phone, staring at the file on your laptop screen. The address is right there. You could send one text, and make this all go away. Your uncle chose his path. You didn't force him to become an informant. This is survival. This is protecting yourself. But then you remember, your uncle taught you how to ride a bike. He came to every one of your high school baseball games when your dad was working double shifts. He's the one who told you to stay in school and stay away from the drug game. He's trying to get out, and you're about to send him to his death. You make a decision. You don't send the address. You call Miguel and tell him you don't have access to that information, that it's above your clearance level. Miguel goes quiet on the line. Then he says, "I really hope you're telling the truth, cousin, because if you're lying to me, your sister has a very pretty smile. It would be a shame if something happened to it." He hangs up. You don't sleep for 3 days. The trial date approaches. Your uncle is still alive. The DEA is feeling confident. You're walking a tightrope made of razor wire, and you're bleeding from both sides. The cartel thinks you're holding out. The DEA thinks you're a promising young agent. You're neither. You're just a kid who took money from the wrong people and is now drowning in consequences. Then it happens. The safe house gets hit. Not by you, by another leak. Someone else in the DEA sold the location. Your uncle and 2 federal marshals are executed. The crime scene photos show your uncle was tortured first. They wanted him to suffer. Your mom calls you crying. She doesn't know he was an informant. She just knows her brother is dead, and the people who did it are animals. She tells you she's so glad you're one of the good guys fighting these monsters. You can barely breathe. The DEA launches an internal investigation. They know there's a mole. They're looking at everyone who had access to that address. You're on the list. Your phone records, your bank statements, your travel history. Everything is being examined under a microscope. You're sitting in an interrogation room with your own colleagues. They're asking you questions designed to trap you. They're watching your eyes, your hands, the way you swallow. These are people trained to detect lies. And you're lying with every breath. You pass the polygraph by a miracle. Or maybe the examiner just doesn't want to believe a kid with your background could be dirty. You're cleared. But Miguel isn't done with you. He wants more. He always wants more. The DEA is planning a massive operation. Codename Iron Fist. They're going after 20 cartel members simultaneously across 4 states. It's the biggest coordinated strike in 5 years. You have the target list. Miguel wants it. This time, you say no. You're done. You tell Miguel you can't do this anymore. You'll pay back every dollar. You'll disappear. Whatever it takes. But you're not sending more people to their deaths. Miguel meets you in person, in a parking garage, just the 2 of you. He looks at you like you're a stranger. He says, "You think you get to choose when this ends? You're in until we say you're out. And the only way out is in a body bag or a prison cell. Your choice." You're standing there, and you realize the trap was always perfect. If you keep helping the cartel, you're a traitor destroying everything you believed in. If you stop, they'll expose you, and you'll spend 30 years in a federal prison as a dirty cop. If you run, they'll kill your family. There's no winning move. There never was. That night, you sit in your apartment with your service weapon on the table. You've got 3 choices. Send Miguel the target list and become complicit in a massacre. Turn yourself in and destroy your family's name while rotting in prison. Or put the gun in your mouth and end it before the walls close in completely. You pick up your phone. You start typing the target list to send to Miguel. Your hands are shaking. You get halfway through and stop. You delete it. You open a new message. This one goes to your supervisor. "We need to talk. I have information about a leak." You're about to burn your entire life down. You're about to confess to crimes that will send you to prison for decades. You're about to put your family in danger from both the cartel and the shame of having a traitor son. But you're also about to stop being the person who let your uncle die. You hit send. 3 minutes later, tactical teams are surrounding your apartment. You're face down on the floor with a knee in your back. Your supervisor is reading you your rights. Your career is over. Your freedom is over. But for the first time in 2 years, you're not working for the cartel. You're in handcuffs, and somehow, you feel more free than you felt since the day Miguel first sat on your couch. The irony is sharp enough to cut. You joined the DEA to be a hero. You became a villain, and your only path to redemption runs straight through a prison cell. That's all for today. This story is fiction. But cartel infiltration of law enforcement is very, very real. If this one hit different, let me know in the comments which moment destroyed you. Subscribe for more moral nightmares that'll keep you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. See you in the next one.